this is what I want to do. This guy here, I started on this a couple of weeks ago. Just put some feet on it to get it to stand upright. This is going to be our maple syrup evaporator. So I'm going to chop the top off, about 2/3 of it, and then this is going to be the kind of the chimney area. I'm going to have a chimney coming up from this guy here and going out that way, and then all of the logs will be loaded in through a door that I'm going to make there. Show you what I'm thinking here. This thing's sitting level this way and level this way as well. So I've just kind of traced out what I was thinking for cutting the top off. So basically cutting from, let's say, around here-ish, along here, along here, and along to the same measurement there, and then up and around that way. That will take this section off. Then I'll have to reinforce this, I'm sure. And then I'm going to weld on these hinges. My dilemma right now is I could cut this square out here, which is 11 by 12. I think that should be big enough for most of the logs, and I'll weld the hinge on there, and then I got a little handle at least there to open up the door and close it. The only thing that's kind of making me second guess that is if I wanted to go wider, but the problem is it's all contoured, so if I went wider I'd have to go back to here and cut all the way along to there, which I guess wouldn't be horrible either, but I kind of have to make a decision now, because I can weld the hinge on this side here, and then weld the hinge on there, and then cut this side here, so the whole thing basically opens up, but I got this dent here, so I'm going to try and pound that in. If I can pound that in and it looks okay, then I'll probably cut all the way out to there, just so it's not restricting me on the size of logs that I can fit in. And also if I'm trying to clean out the bottom, I think I'm going to put a clean out down here, but if that doesn't happen, then at least I'll have a nice bigger opening here that I can clean out the ash. Actually, come to think of it, I can clean out the ash from up top here as well, because this is going to be open, and the stainless steel trays are just going to sit in. So the idea is to have at least two, and then a warming section. So the warming section will kind of preheat all of the sap, so as it boils, I'm not putting cold sap into a boil, because then it just kills the heat, kills the boil on it. So anyway, that's what I see all the cool people doing. Okay, so that is the start of the evaporator. Yeah, the pans will basically go in here. I'm going to put some angle iron to stiffen that up, and then I'm going to put something in behind here to stiffen that up as well. But yeah, that's kind of the start. My welds look amazing, as always. These ones aren't horrible, but I just basically had to tack it, or else I was blowing through every time. Yeah, I'm definitely not a welder, but otherwise I'd have to pay for something like this, and forget that. I don't want to pay for nothing, not these days, that's for sure. Anyway, I'm going to look around my scrap pile, see if I can find some angle iron and some steel and something to do a little bit more work on this, and we'll go from there. This is it as of yet. So we're just using basically scraps of steel that I got kicking around. So there's some angle iron there. So just stiffening everything up by, this is two pieces here that I first put on, and then it was not right, and then I realized that this was cut a bit high on this section here, so I had to go inside and cut a little sliver out of there so that this thing could drop down properly. And then yeah, so that's fairly, you know, not level, but level-ish. I gotta grind some of this stuff off because it'll be a little bit sharp. I don't even know my my width of the trays as of yet. So basically what I want to do is I want to put you know, some bars across there, and then maybe some expanded metal or something. Maybe just some bars, I'm not sure. And that'll hold the firewood up from the base. And then on the sides, I want to line this section and this section with some fire blocks or fire bricks. That'll retain some heat. And then I don't know what I'm going to do there. Some people use this and make kind of like a little back chute to kind of go up. I'm going to obviously put the stovepipe here, or the 6-inch outlet right there. Yeah, so the door didn't go as planned. Of course, it fell off prior to me cutting it, so it's a touch off. I'll just grind it, and then I'll just get a little latch, close that up. I'll probably reinforce this with just some angle iron or something like that, just to, I would imagine with the heat it's probably going to warp. Yeah, but anyway, we're getting there. A lot further off than what I was, and I was actually thinking I maybe just going home since the dog hurt herself. She almost tore her pad right off her front foot, so it doesn't seem to be bothering her too much. It's more the back leg that's bothering her now. But she kind of has a bad back foot. Every time she gets a little bit excited to go run around the property, she hurts her back foot. So, but anyway, the front seems to be not bothering her too much, but we'll have to see. Poor thing. Poor doggy. Okay, so Sunday mid-morning, just had some breakfast, and now I'm just going around and preemptively tapping some of these trees because I'm not going to be up here next weekend. The weather isn't looking like it's going to be like prime sap tapping, whatever you want to call that, weather. Got one there, another one just behind the machine, another one right there. But anyway, yeah, I don't know much about this, but I'm trying to hang them to the southern side of the tree. I'm not sure if that's the right thing to do. I think it is. That's what I read somewhere, or I heard somewhere. So I'm trying to get the south side so it gets more exposure to the sun. And sometimes I just can't get the south side. So anyway, got another two there. And like I said, I won't be up next weekend. So I'm just trying to get a jump start of whenever the weather might be forgiving enough. So I'm about a 2-hour drive home. So yeah, coming up midweek to put these in is basically out of the question. So I've got 5 in so far, then I'll put these other guys in. When I went for a walk this morning, there's some other trees that I haven't tapped into. They say the tree has to be at least 11 inches in diameter, and if it's over 18 you can put 2 taps in one tree. So anyway, whatever, got 5 in now, put the other 5 in, and then I'll start thinking about packing up and getting back home, because I got a lot of things I got to move around in the sea can to fit this bad boy back in again. And yeah, always something to do, always. So anyway, let's get at her. Okay, so I totally really did not expect this. It's like sitting at 0 degrees right now, and that's the sound of drippage. So I actually may have to come up here next weekend just to empty these things out. Totally wasn't expecting to get any type of flow at all, but that's at least 1, 2, 3, 4 trees that I've just tapped that are flowing. So just looking at the weather for the remainder of this week, it's going to hover around like just the -2, -1 during the day, and then the following week it's going to be up in the pluses, but pluses during the day and then minuses at night, which is kind of optimal for tapping trees and stuff like that. So yeah, when the tree just kind of goes through its freeze-thaw cycle throughout the day, that's when it seems to flow a lot better. So excited. It gives me more motivation to get that evaporator done now. Cool. Okay, so that was a bunch of welding. This is, found this from the scrap bin at work. It was a part of a racking system. Anyway, that's going to hold the logs above the base. I still need to do a little clean out down there, and I know I want to put some reinforcements onto the door and then behind the door as well. But basically built the shelf piece here. This was built out of 2 pieces of angle iron, and it's still not 100%. So depending on how that reacts, I might just stuff some fireplace rod in there or something like that. And if that doesn't work, then I'll just put an angle iron, a smaller angle iron square around it to basically hold the tub in place, and then weld that so it's all sealed. My little circle here wasn't too bad. I've got a piece of 6-inch gas pipe that I actually want to stick in here. Got to dig it out of the snow pile over there to see how that looks, because that was originally what I got that chunk of 6-inch pipe for. It's just an old piece of gas main. I was going to have that there instead of the smaller chimney. But yeah, coming along. It's a bit drafty, but I think I might just set up this welder for TIG now, and I've got my argon gas in there, and see if I can make something happen. If there's a bit of a draft, I know with the aluminum welding, if there's a bit of a draft, it blows the argon out of the way, and as soon as the argon basically moves out of the way of the weld, then messes up the weld. It can make it, with aluminum, it makes it basically blow up, and you have huge holes in the aluminum. With stainless steel, I'm not really too sure what it will do. Probably just look like the dog's breakfast. So anyway, okay, so somewhat good news. That reads about 600 psi, maybe 700 psi. So at least I have some argon gas, and argon, that was the name that was escaping me earlier. So yeah, I'm gonna move the generator over to here, bring it over here, and then start trying to weld this up. I got some more test pieces. I'll do the test pieces first now that I actually have some argon. And then tungsten wise, I've got a couple of different tungsten pieces, and I'm not sure what's best. So they're saying the lathinated or the blue tip one. I've got one longer piece of blue left, and I've got some gray, which is serrated, I believe, 2% serrated or something like that. Anyway, I'm not sure what's best for my application of what I'm doing. I think either way it's going to not look like a beautiful stack of dimes, as they say, but as long as it holds sap, then I'm happy with that. So hold sap, happy with that. Yo, I can rap. Okay, that was pretty lame, but that's what I'm all about here. Yeah, that's that for now. Let's I'll move the stuff around and we'll see what happens. Okay, I've got myself all set up. Just do a quick talking head before I turn on the generator, because you won't be able to hear anything. Anyway, this piece fell down, but this is going to be my practice pieces. I'm going to set these up at a 90 degree. I'm going to start by tacking and seeing what that does. And if I can get this thing to tack together without using any filler, then maybe that will work a bit better. I don't know. But anyway, we'll see how that goes. I'll probably put you on a time lapse here and probably forget about the camera and just get going. So that's that. Okay, so this is turning out to be absolute shit. Complete garbage. I've tried many different ways. I've even put this stainless steel in behind it to try and create a backer from it. It just, everything's just blowing out no matter what I do. Doesn't matter what the settings are or what the type of steel I'm using. It's just looking like absolute dog shit. My best weld was right there, and then it blew out. And then the problem with that is that as soon as it blows out, I can't get it. I can't rebuild it. It just keeps on going away. So who knew? Who knew welding took a lot more skill than, you know. So I don't know what I'm going to do at this point. I've got a bunch of syrup I need to boil. I've got a very expensive bin that I just got bent up and bought the steel for. So maybe I'll just pause that. I don't know. I'm screwed now because it's Easter weekend. I gotta try and find a welder to weld up this aluminum, or I have to practice a lot more myself, which I'm sure can happen, but just up here it's a challenge. So I might end up having to just take all this home. I don't know. Anyway, just shut the generator off for a little bit and get some peace and quiet. Maybe take the dog for a walk and think about what I'm going to do here. Okay, so after a bit of frustration, a trip into town, and an AI search, I guess I'm supposed to have this as a negative trigger. So the stick end should be on the negative and the work should be on the positive. So anyway, I've come back and tried that, and that seems to be working a bit better. Now this is ground down, mind you, but this was the one that was looking really bad. So obviously there's some spots I have to touch up in there. I used this as a backer rod, and of course I welded the angle iron to it. That's just stainless steel as well, it's not iron, but this one looks really good. So there's a couple of spots that I'll need to touch up with this, but I want to try and get this out first. Doesn't seem to be held in by too much. Anyway, yeah, I'm going to continue doing what I'm doing here, and you know, it's not looking like a professional weld by any stretch of the imagination, but if it holds sap, that's all I care about. Hold sap and can take the heat. So let's hope it does that. So let's continue. Okay, so it's about 7 in the morning. I'm gonna go take it. I don't know. It's like 7 degrees out now. It warmed up throughout the night, and then it just bucketed down with rain. No, you're not doing anything crazy there, limpy foot. Yeah, so I'm gonna take the buckets and the side-by-side and go empty out all the sap from this morning or from last night. It started flowing last night at probably about 5 o'clock. There were some buckets that were already almost halfway. So anyway, I gotta get this boil on the go today at some point, or else all this stuff is gonna be ruined. So I think the stuff that I do put in buckets right now, I'm just gonna leave in the buckets until I know that I can get a boil going on. There is a local guy in Madoc who is offered to give me a hand. Not a hand, I'm going to paying him, of course, but it's Good Friday, so I'm really happy that he's you know, basically offered his services on a holiday. So anyway, I'm going to go bring the stainless steel piece to him, and it doesn't look exactly horrible. I'll show you it. Hold on a second. So this is basically how my welds were starting. Not so great. Anyway, this is kind of what they've ended up turning like, and ground down obviously. So when I shine light through it, I can still just see pinholes. So I was looking online early this morning. Apparently there is a food grade silicone that you can purchase. Of course, nothing's open today, but it's basically like a gasket maker. So depending on what Buddy tells me today, I might have just chewed away too much material, or burned away too much material with what I was doing yesterday. Who knows? We'll have to see what he says. Anyway, other things that I need to do today. I need need to start building a shelter for this evaporator. So I had, of course, a bunch of different thoughts last night. One of them is using some pallets. So I got a couple of pallets over there, longer pallets. If they're not in good shape, then I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to build like a 6x6 platform and just put 3 walls and a roof structure over top. Worry about the roof for now, get it kind of sheltered from the rain, and then just put some sides on. So basically the same as a wood shed here. And then I'm going to try and have it so that I can use the skid steer and the forks, excuse me, to basically move that structure around, because I'd eventually like to have the evaporator at the cabin site. So anyway, that's the plan for today. I'm going to be doing some collection, and I'll let you know how that goes. Okay, we got about 18 gallons there. Yeah, just shy of the 20 gallons, and it has just started to bucket down. It's eased up just a touch right now, but it is not very nice weather, and the soaked dog is not enjoying herself in the back seat here. She's getting rained on as well, dripped on, but yeah, really misty, wet, damp. Everything, the trails are just slop. So I'm sure I'm going to be cursing myself in a couple of months time or weeks time when it does dry out somewhat. I've got all these ruts all over the trails I'm going to have to try and smooth out again. But again, these are the wonderful challenges. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so unfortunately, the guy in town didn't realize he had other plans and wasn't able to help me out. So he took a look at it anyway. He said it was fairly decent. Gave me some hints and some tips, but regardless, I'm still out of argon. So I might try and fill it up and see how bad the leaks are. Yeah, and then my other thought process is to potentially use a food grade silicone, heat resistant silicone. This one that I was looking up this morning says it's good to 650 degrees or something like that. So anyway, regardless, I got to get something boiling anyway. I've got some roasting pans that I can use, but I have to make up another tray on top of this guy here so that it's not all direct heat. I should probably just take this off and then I can show you. Yeah, that's what I'll do. Okay, so basically I'm going to put a piece of metal over top of that hole there that will act as a lid for it when it's not being used. But also I'm going to reinforce underneath with some more scrap metal that I have, just to try and keep it from warping, and that will sit on top and kind of be a buffer zone between the actual flames and the aluminum trays, and then potentially the stainless steel tray after. So I got this checker plate steel, and so hopefully that will be enough. I think it will. Just eyeing it up. Dog is chewing on some snow. Not sure why, but yeah, I'm talking about you. Carry on. Okay, yeah, so anyway, get the loud ass generator going again, and yeah, and then I think what I might do, just I might just get a long pallet and then just put some 2x4s up and then put a temporary just piece of roofing over top of it just for now anyway, because it is supposed to rain again, I think around 2 o'clock, and hopefully I'll have this thing burning by then, so we shall see. Okay, bye bye. Okay, so I didn't bore you with the time lapse on that one, but just a shit ton more welding, crap ton, beep beep, whatever. Anyway, this is the grate that will sit in the actual fireplace itself, or where the fire is going to be. That's going to hold the logs off the bottom of the barrel, and then I'm going to put a little access hole down there, right down there, and that's going to be to pull all the ashes out. I may do that right now, or I may do that in a little bit. I want to start seeing if this thing's actually going to cook And then I made this top plate here, so that top plate there just fits on top of here, and it's all reinforced. See if it's still warm. No, it's not bad. I reinforced it all with, you know, some angle iron, some 1-inch tubing, square tubing, some 1/2-inch square tubing, basically anything that I could find. So I'm hopeful that it doesn't warp too much. I'm expecting it to warp a little bit, but hopefully not too much. And then I just quickly put on a bracket, or a little grab handle here and a grab handle on the other side here, just so I can lift this thing up and maneuver it out of the way until it gets its permanent home, wherever that may or may not be. Anyway, that is just there for sizing. It's not going to stay. Gonna go to grab a pallet from the cabin site, move the excavator, put the pallet down there, and move this thing on top of that pallet. And I'm decided that, because everything's just so soaked right now, I'm going to take the wood that I have kind of for next year's wood that's going to be drying. It's not 100% dry yet, but and then I'll probably use some more of maybe I'll keep the stuff from this year just in case it does get cold again. Yeah, so just gonna boot back there with the side-by-side. I'll check on the sap while I'm at it, and I should be hopefully cooking with fire soon. Okay, maybe put you on a time lapse when I start firing this thing up. Everything else is gonna be kind of boring though. Well, she may not be too pretty, but we have now got ourselves an evaporator. So it's probably going to take an extremely long time to get this boiled down, but yeah, anyway, it's good. I'm happy. It's hot. Fire's toasting away there. Some of the stuff is a little bit wet that I put on, but got some dry stuff in there as well. Anyway, it's doing well. So I just got this angle iron here. Just try to keep the heat into around the aluminum as well. Just whatever I can find here. Keep as much heat in there in the pan as possible. But we've almost got a boil. It is evaporating, which is good. It is steaming anyway. So now I've got a bunch of scrap wood here, and this is all just temporary. I'm going to actually build a shack for it, but it'll do for now. I'm going to basically put a couple of uprights on either side of the pallet, screw those in, and then just do kind of like an angled roof. And I've got some fiberglass sheets over here that I can use for the roof itself. And all this is for is to keep the air elements, or try and keep the air elements off of the boil as much as possible. I'll probably end up putting some kind of sides on it as well, maybe just to kind of keep the wind from getting at it. But yeah, anyway, well, my GoPro, or my other camera is full, so I've got to pull off some video off of that so I can start doing a time lapse. So, but this is good. I'm happy. It's not supposed to rain again for another maybe 2 hours or so. So I just hope that it doesn't rain at all. Let's really hope. Okay, so it is, what is it? 5:30. 5:30. And it is now sunny. T-shirt weather. Mildly t-shirt weather. And this is what we got going on. Look at this. Look at this business. Got some wood here. Got some fire in there. We've got 3 trays. I would like to have my stainless steel tray, but nope. So anyway, this is the way it's going. I'm putting the cold sap into this tray here, and in these two, basically I just move when these two are low, I just move from this one, fill up these two, and then fill up this one with the cold sap. And probably gone through maybe 20 gallons so far, maybe. Well, 20 gallons in there plus whatever this holds, so that's probably at least 5 gallons. So let's say 15 gallons worth of sap has been condensed already. It's been going on for probably maybe 3 hours now. But yeah, it's doing well. So I'm just this is my makeshift sugar shack, just in case it starts to rain. Just got this chunk of fiberglass there, and I put this fiberglass on either side to cut down the wind, so that the heat kind of stays hopefully within the barrel. It's working so far. Everything's going well, so I'm pretty happy. I think surprisingly enough, it's been like I think plus 17 or something like that, 16 or 17 degrees today, and the sap isn't really running all that much, so maybe this is the end. I'm not sure. I'm going to take a walk. It's getting really muddy on the trails, so I'm just going to walk and see if it's worthwhile to go collect some sap tonight, and if not, then I'll just go and collect it in the morning. And okay, so that's the update for now. Pretty happy. It would be a lot better if this guy right there, if that thing there was all sealed up, it would be on top of there and I would be a little bit happier. But I'm glad I went to the grocery store and picked up these, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to boil anything. So I'll take the stainless steel pan will be a project to finish up this year for next year. How's that? Does that sound good? That sounds good. Yeah, because I need to justify to Nadine why I spent almost $300 in a pan. That's no good. But it is good. It's just no good for right now. That is way too overexposed. There you go. It is. Yeah. I think I'm day 3.5. Day 3 in the woods by myself. So pardon me if I'm speaking a little crazy. All right. Started out being a nice day. It is Saturday, Easter weekend, and afternoon as forecasted. It's now raining again. Went around this morning. I collected up 3 more pails, so that's 15 gallons of sap from the obviously from the trees. Duh. And then I brought down a couple of logs from up there. They've just been kind of sitting there for a bunch of years, but they were still logs, so I brought them down with the excavator and cut them up and chopped them with the log splitter, and taken all the logs that I had left over from this area, put them up there, so they'll be used first, just when I'm using for inside the trailer. And now just moving all these logs that I cut up there into here, because it's now raining, and trying to keep the logs as dry as I can. And here's our cook. So this morning I emptied out 2 pails, or 2 pans, and that resulted in about maybe 3 gallons. It's not finished yet, but it's taking down quite a bit. And I just got this cooking right now. And we've got about maybe, what do we have? 25 gallons left, maybe? Something like that. So I'm hopeful that I can get this boiled down enough today, and then, because I got to go home tonight, and if I can get all this taken down enough, then I won't bother coming back. It's not the greatest weather, obviously, but it's sitting around like the plus 3 to 4, and the trees aren't really flowing anymore. So I think this might be it for this year. But you know, decent run anyway. I got about 70 gallons total sap, and we'll have to see how much that equates to. It should be about maybe 3.5 gallons, I think, of syrup. So yeah, anyway, game plan is to keep on boiling this stuff down, make some periodic trips down to the truck. I'll bring my welder down with the stainless steel pan, and I'll try and do that maybe this week, get some argon and see if I can make something look a little bit better than what it is right now, and watertight would be, you know, optimum as well. Yeah, so that's it for now. I'll probably come back later. Could do. Who knows? Alright, well, we'll see you when we see you. Alright, Sunday morning. Happy Easter. We are continuing the cook. We've got about maybe 5 gallons left, if I had to guess, down in there. So we've got about half a pail there of sap, or condensed sap, and obviously basically what you see is what you get up here as well. So I'm going to continue cooking this down. I'm pretty confident that I'll be able to get the rest of this done. I did take a walk around this morning, and the trees aren't really flowing near as much anymore, so there might be just a little bit, and one of them is actually turning a little bit on the brownish side, so I have to do a little bit of research, but I think if it turns a little brown, that's when you know not to go downtown. Lovely. Yeah, anyway, so I just came up with that. That's not an actual saying. My wife's gonna love that if she even listens that long to hear that. Anyway, yeah, so my plan, it's supposed to rain at around, I think it's forecasted about 1 o'clock, and for some reason these weather people are pretty on the ball lately with the rainfall that's been coming down. It just bucketed down again last night. There's so much water around. The trails are just soup. It's making walking around even just not the greatest. But anyway, I'm going to probably just work my butt off here trying to do some cleaning, get things somewhat organized for when I'm able to bring the truck up here, then I can get rid of a crap ton of garbage. Yeah, get that all taken care of. And then after that, I think if I can get out of here at 1 o'clock before the rain, then I would be happy. I'll get home and then I'll finish boiling this off at home. So I'll probably take one of the propane burners, just so I'm not, I don't know what I'll do yet. Yeah, I'll take a propane burner just in case I need to do more boiling than what I thought, because boiling in the house is a lot of moisture. So yeah, other than that, if anything exciting happens, we will fast forward to maybe the finished product in the house. Maybe. Yeah, bye. Okay, welcome to Keith's not-so cabin. Here we go. This is the final product. We've got beautiful golden maple syrup. So basically we took this to a boil of about 107. So as water boils at 100 degrees, as the sugar content goes up, it increases the boiling temperature. And once it was around 107, 108, something like that, I used what's called a refractometer, and brought it to a Brix. It's called Brix, B-R-I-X, I believe, count of 64 or 65. And because if you don't have enough sugar, it will apparently go bad. So sugar is the sugar in maple syrup is how you keep it from going bad and whatever. I guess the dog, stop. No. I gotta edit a bunch of this crap out. Anyway. Sugar good. Not sugar, not good. So this is good. It should be good for about a year. So in 3 years' time, I'll get to it. From 70 gallons of sap, yielded just under 5 liters of syrup. So lots to give away, because if I had to charge for it, it would be about 30 bucks half liter. Still lose money. Yeah, we do it for the love of it. That's what we do it for. Okay, my wife is cringing right now. Cringing at what I'm saying. The first time I did this, and I didn't even record anything. I just took a picture of my stupid ass face. So, okay, toodaloo, bye for now.